A U.S. School Accreditation Guide. U.S. Grade School Introduction. There are school districts/school boards by state, specific public schools by state, charter schools by state, private schools, boarding schools, Christian schools, Islam schools/Muslim schools, Jewish grade school, Hispanic grade school, language education, Native American grade school/Indian schools, schools for troubled youth/boot camps, school on a ship info, single-sex grade schools. Chapter 1. Grade school logistics. Elementary school accreditation in the U.S. Online elementary schools are often accredited on the national level by advanced-ed.org, advanced, or by ksde.org/agency/division-licensure-licensure-licensing-accrediting-accrediting-agencies, 6 regional accreditation agencies in the United States. advanced-ed.org/oasis2/u/par/search, accredited institutions registry. corestandards.org/standards-in-your-state, will differ from state to state. advanced-ed.org, the Northwest Accreditation Commission. wascweb.org, the Western Association of Schools and Colleges. northcentralassociation.org, the North Central Association of Colleges and Schools. neac.org, the New England Association of Schools and Colleges. middlestats.org, the Middle States Association of Colleges and Schools. sacs.org, the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools. Accrediting agencies for grade schools. If you're planning to send your children to a private grade school, check with these organizations to see if it's accredited, or contact the Commission for Schools in your state or provincial Department of Education. Accredited means that the school is somewhat following the formal curriculum and the child is being taught according to the official. There are schools around with their own philosophies or just plain bad teaching that are unaccredited. In these cases, when and if the child switched to public grade school or university, he or she must take tests which will determine what grade level they're at or if they meet the basic standards for university entrance. nces.ed.gov/ccdweb/schools/index.asp, National Public School Locator. American Association of Christian Schools. 602 Belvoir Avenue, East Ridge, Tennessee 37412/. aacs.org. Association of Christian Schools International. POB 35097. Colorado Springs, Colorado 80935-3509. 719-594-4612. Fax 719-531-0631. acsi.org. European Council of Independent Schools. ESIS, POB 6066. 28080, Madrid, Spain. 34-91-562-722. Fax 34-91-5636854. ecis.org. Independent Schools Council. Grosvenor Gardens House. 35-37 Grosvenor Gardens, London, SW1WOBS. England. 44-171-6300144. Fax 44-171-9310036. abc@online.rednet.co.uk. Middle States Association of Colleges Schools. Commission on Elementary Schools. GSB Building. Number 618. 1 Belmont Avenue, Ballasonwood, Pennsylvania 19004. 610-617-1100. Fax 610-617-1106. day@gym.net. New England Association of Schools Colleges. 209 Burlington Road, Bedford, Massachusetts 01730-1433, 718-271-0022. Fax 718-271-0950. neac.org. CT, ME, MA, NH, RI, VT. New York State Board of Regents. State Department of Education. University of the State of New York. Albany, New York 12224. 518-474-5844. North Central Association of Colleges Schools. Accrediting Association. Commission on Schools. Arizona State University. Box 873011. Tempe, Arizona 85287-3011. 602-965-8700. 800-525-9517. Fax 602-965-9423. AZ, AR, CO, IL, N, IA, KS, ME, MN, MO, NE, NM, ND, O, OK, SD, WV, WI, WY. Northwest Association of Schools Colleges. Boise State University. 1910 University Drive, Boise, Idaho 83725-1060. 208-334-3210. Fax 208-334-3228. idbsu.edu/NASC. AK, ID, MT, NV, or UT, WA. Southern Association of Colleges Schools. 1866 Southern Lane, Decatur, Georgia 30033. 800-248-7701. 404-329-6500. Fax 404-679-4556. Al, FL, GA, KY, Law, MS, NC, SC, TN, TX, VA. Texas Education Agency. Commission on Schools. 1701 North Congress Avenue, Austin, Texas 78701-1494. 512-463-8985. Fax 512-463-9008. tea.texas.gov. Western Association of Schools Colleges. Accrediting Commission for Schools. 533 Airport Boulevard, Number 200. Burlingame, California 94010. 650-696-1060. Fax 650-696-1867. wasi@ed.co.sanmateo.ca.us. Accrediting Agencies for High Schools. Accreditation costs money, which is why a few well-respected high schools don't go through the process, but most do. Your safest bet is to always go to a high school accredited with one of the institutions listed below in order to ensure that you will be accepted into an accredited college. For all intents and purposes, the major accrediting agencies in the United States for a high school education are two nationally recognized accrediting agencies that all others answer to, and several regional ones. Council for Higher Education Accreditation. 1. DuPont Circle, NW. Number 510. Washington, D.C. 20036. 202-955-6126. 202-452-1443. Fax 202-955-6129. chia@chia.org. chia.org. General Umbrella Organization for All Higher Education. Accreditation State Liaison Division. U.S. Department of Education. Division of Eligibility Agency Evaluation. Bureau of Secondary Education. Washington, D.C. 20202. 202-245-9875. 202-708-7417. 800 USA Learn. ed.gov. Call to determine if a high school or college is accredited. The Distance Education and Training Council accredits online and mail-order correspondence high school and college programs. Distance Education and Training Council. 1601 18th St. Northwest. Washington, D.C. 20009. 202-234-5100. Fax, 202-332-1386. DETC@DETC.org. DETC.org. The regional accrediting agencies are as follows. Middle States Association of Colleges and Schools. Commission on Secondary Schools. 3624 Market St. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania 19104. 215-662-5603. Fax, 215-662-0957. css-msa.org. info@css-msa.org. Accreditation for Delaware, the District of Columbia, Maryland, New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Puerto Rico, the U.S. Virgin Islands and other locations overseas like the Virgin Islands. New England Association of Schools and Colleges. Commission on Public Secondary Schools. 209 Burlington Road. Bedford, Massachusetts 01730. 781-271-0022. Fax, 781-271-0950. neac.org/cpss/cpss.hdm. Accreditation for Connecticut, Maine, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Rhode Island and Vermont, also 92 American/international schools around the world. North Central Association of Colleges and Schools. Commission on Accreditation and School Improvement. Arizona State University. POB 873011. Tempe, Arizona 85287. 480-965-8700. 800-525-9517. nca@nca.asu.edu. ncakc.org. Accreditation for Arizona, Arkansas, Colorado, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Michigan, Minnesota, Missouri, Nebraska, New Mexico, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, South Dakota, West Virginia, Wisconsin, Wyoming plus Department of Defense dependent schools and the Navajo Nation. Northwest Association of Schools and Colleges. Commission on Schools. Boise State University. 1910 University Drive. Boise, Idaho 83725. 208-426-5727. Fax, 208-334-3228. boiseestate.edu/NASC. bsu.edu/NASC. Accreditation for schools in Alaska, Idaho, Montana, Nevada, Oregon, Utah, and Washington plus the countries of Canada, China, Egypt, Jamaica, Macedonia, Mexico, Panama, Poland, Russia, Saudi Arabia and Western Samoa. Southern Association of Colleges and Schools. Commission on Secondary and Middle Schools. 1866 Southern Lane. Decatur, Georgia 30033. 404-679-4500. 800-248-7701. Fax, 404-679-4541. csms@sacs.org. sacs.org/pub/sec/index.hdm. Accreditation for Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, Virginia, and Latin America. Western Association of Schools and Colleges. Accrediting Commission for Schools. 533 Airport Boulevard. Number 200. Burlingame, California 94010. 650-696-1060. Fax, 650-696-1867. Mail at acswasc.org. acswasc.org. California, Hawaii, East Asia, and the American Territorial Pacific Islands. State grade school standards. School boards and states have different rules regarding public schools. Children under 16 are legally supposed to go to one form of school or another, either public, private or homeschooling. Some states require a certain racial composition to some schools, which is why students are bused in. In some areas, you can pick which school you want to go to regardless of where you live. In other areas, you have to go to a particular school based on where you live. Some areas offer private voucher programs, which are grants to subsidize some of a child's attendance at a private school. Check with your local school board for rules and regulations. Statestandards.com, links to every state Department of Education. edexcellence.net. PutnamValleySchools.org/standards.html. Grade School National Standards. Booklets that contain national standards in public education outlining what a child should know at every grade level are available from some organizations at a cost of anywhere from $10 to $25 each. Request information about their literature for national standards for grade school in the particular subject. nbpts.org, National Board for Professional Teaching Standards. mcrl.org. education.world.com/standards/national/index.html. nstia.org. ed.gov, a summary of national education goals and standards. ed.gov/databases/eric-digest/ed387483.html, a brief explanation of the purposes of health instruction, a list of proposed national standards and essential curriculum content areas. National Council of Teachers of English. NCTE. 1111 West Kenyon Road, Urbana, Illinois 61801-1096. 800-369-6283. ncte.org. Summary of the National Language Arts Standards, a standards discussion forum and a list of publications on standards. National Council of Teachers of Mathematics, NCTM. 1906 Association Drive, Reston, Virginia 20191-9988. 703-620-9820. nctm.org. Math Standards. National Council for the Social Studies, NCSS. 3501 Newark St. Northwest, Washington, D.C. 20016. 202-966-7840. ncss.org. A summary of the National Curriculum Standards for Social Studies. National Science Teachers Association, NSTA. 1840 Wilson Boulevard, Arlington, Virginia 22201-3000. 703-243-7100. nstia.org. National K-12 Foreign Language Resource Center. National Foreign Language Resource Center. N131 Lago Marchino Hall, Iowa State University. Ames, Iowa 50011. 515-294-6699. educ.iastate.edu/nflrc. Information and publications on National Foreign Language Standards and Assessment. American Council on the Teaching of Foreign Languages. 6 Executive Plaza, Yonkers, New York 10701. 914-963-8830. actfl.org. Foreign Language Standards. National Standards for Arts Education. artsgE.kenedy-center/professional_resources/standards/nat-standards/index. HTML. A discussion and summary of national standards of dance, music, theater, and visual arts. Music Educators National Conference MENC Publication Sales. 1806, Robert Fulton Drive. Reston, Virginia 20191. 800-828-0229. menc.org. Book for sale, The National Standards for Arts Education, What Every Young American Should Know and Be Able to Do in the Arts by the Consortium of National Arts Education Associations. National Art Education Association, NAEA. 191-6, Association Drive. Reston, Virginia 20191-1590. 703-860-8200. NAEA.org. Music Educators National Conference, MENC. 1806, Robert Fulton Drive. Reston, Virginia 20191. 800-336-3768. menc.org. Center for Civic Education. 5146 Douglas Fir Road. Calabasas, California 91302. 800-350-4223. Civics. National Academy of Science. 2101 Constitution Avenue, NW. Washington, D.C. 20418. 202-334-1399. National Council of Mathematics. 1906 Association. Drive. Reston, Virginia 22091. 703-620-9840. American Alliance for Health, Physical Education, Recreation, and Dance, APERD. 1900 Association Drive. Reston, Virginia 20191. 800-213-7193. APERD.org. The APERD is composed of several related organizations, among them the National Association for Sport and Physical Education, NASP. National Geographic Society. POG 1640. Washington, D.C. 20013. 202-775-7832. NationalGeographic.com. UCLA National Center for History in the Schools. 10880 Wilshire Boulevard. Number 761. La California 90021. 310-825-4702. UCLA.edu. United States Grade School, College, and Credential Transfer Websites. USENIC. U.S. Department of Education. International Affairs Office. 400 Maryland Avenue. SW Washington. DC 20202 to 8401. Important, the USENIC does evaluate academic or professional credentials. Fax 1-202-401-2508. ed.gov. sites.ed.gov/international/what-we-do-on-u-s-education-and-mobility. United States Department of Education, ed. ed.gov. Bureau of Educational and Cultural Affairs, ECA. United States Department of State. educationusa.state.gov. Education USA. Resource provides information on studying in the United States. exchanges.state.gov. Council for Higher Education Accreditation, CHIA. CHIA is an association of 3,000 degree-granting colleges and universities and recognizes 60 institutional and programmatic accrediting organizations. CHIA.org. Structure of U.S. Education. nces.ed.gov/programs/digest/d17/fig_01.asp?figures. English, Diagram of Education Structure. U.S. institutions and programs. ed.gov/about/offices/lists/us/international/us/edilite-institutions-us.html. Organization of tertiary institutions. ed.gov/about/offices/lists/us/international/us/us/post-cc-inst.doc. English, MS Word document. State role in governing tertiary education. ed.gov/about/offices/lists/us/international/us/us/post-cc.doc. ed.gov/about/offices/lists/us/international/us/us/edilite-structure-us.html. nces.ed.gov/programs/digest/d11/figures/fig_01.asp. Accreditation in the United States. ed.gov/admin/fina-id/ac-cred/index.html. chia.org/4dcgi/cms/review.html $?CMS_document $.id=48%Minuki=main. Career and technical qualifications. ed.gov/about/offices/lists/us/international/us/us/cte.doc. Quality assurance is administered by non-governmental accrediting agencies. U.S. Department of Education Directory, only domestic institutions and programs. ope.ed.gov/dapip/number/home. chia database of institutions and programs, including overseas institutions and programs. chia.org/4dcgi/cms/review.html $?CMS_document$.id=32$Minuki=main. Diploma mills and fraud, detailed information for avoiding unrecognized providers. ed.gov/students/prep/college/diploma mills/index.html. Recognition of foreign qualifications, general information. sites.ed.gov/international/recognition-of-foreign-qualifications.